Hello, dear radio lovers. Today, I'm going to share with you some extremely important information that will show you exactly why Pro.Radio is the best thing that can happen to your radio station. This journey starts back in 2010, and Quantum Themes created the very first themes containing a music player, artists, events, and so on. And it has been the very first WordPress theme with a non-stop music player. We've been contacted by several radio station owners, so we started to explore more which were the requirements for radio stations and started creating pure radio station websites just to find out that the requirements were going well beyond the actual features that were available on the market. So after seeing the amount of requests we were receiving from radio stations, the decision of the team of that time was to create a product only for radios. That product was called On Air. You can see I can find it on the Wayback Machine, so you can understand the software has 10 years of development and was the very first software which had all of the features, all of the core features which you can see nowadays on Pro.Radio. So we had a scheduled current radio show, a non-stop music player, so fully Ajax navigation, events, sponsors and news. But we are talking about a project that had perhaps 1/10 of the features that you can find now on Pro.Radio. We wanted the music to keep on playing when you change pages, because this is a core feature of a successful radio station website. So we came to the conclusion that the only way was to create our own software, integrate it entirely in the WordPress theme that we were developing, and after deploying it for a few radio stations, we came up to the idea of creating a fully radio station dedicated WordPress theme, which was On Air. A lot of customers were asking why we were not publishing a radio WordPress theme as well on Theme Forest, where we have right now 20,000 customers. So the plan has been to create On Air 2. This theme was born as evolution of the original On Air theme, and it is still a top-selling music theme on Theme Forest, and it features a lot of new upgrades. So it had better music player, more features, also a more advanced visual editor, which was at that time WP Bakery, which is now replaced on Air 2 as well, like in Pro.Radio from Elementor. And we had an amount of orders that were totally unexpected. It has been hard to keep up with sales, to keep up with support requests, and we found out an extremely booming market. Anyhow, the market on Theme Forest has some major market limitations. These limitations are, first of all, that the market is flooded of low-quality competitors' themes, which don't have even 1/10 of the features that we have on Air 2. So what happened was that we wanted to make something even better than on Air 2. On Air 2, as we can see, already had radio player, podcasts, charts, events calendar, and many other features, as well as a good design flexibility, which is nowadays incomparable with the flexibility you can have on Pro.Radio. We wanted to be able to cover all of the features that customers always asked us for On Air 2. We wanted to provide Elementor compatibility. We wanted to provide more features for the streaming implementation. We wanted to provide the options to really craft any sort of design, an incredible array of starting pre-built radio websites. And we wanted to provide all of these at an accessible price. But there was a problem, and this problem was that the pricing policy of theme forest was not fitting with the budget requirements of a higher class product. And this for two main reasons. The first reason is that despite we are our lead outsources company on theme forest, there are very high market fees on the sales, but as well the price policy on theme forest has a main difference between theme forest and Pro.Radio market. This difference is that on theme forest you have free theme updates forever. And before you think this is good, on Pro.Radio we include 1 year of support instead of 6 months that you have on theme forest. But as well we include 1 year of access to updates and support, while the license is for lifetime. So let's understand this. The main problem is that on theme forest, what happens is that if the basic product sales are not constant, the budget to create new features, the budget to create new functionalities, new design, new demos, to keep the product up to date for the most recent WordPress versions, for the most recent WooCommerce version, is much less. So if sales goes down, there is no budget to pay the developers that physically have to put their hands on the keyboard and create a new version of the software. So if in the world there are 10 or 20,000 radio stations and they all buy Honor 2 and they don't extend the support because the software works fine and they don't need support, the budget for new updates is zero. You end up with a software that potentially has no updates, which happens on almost all of the other radio station WordPress themes that you can find on Theme Forest. I'm not talking about Honor 2 because you can see it's updated about every month. But I'm talking about softwares, WordPress themes that don't have an amount of sales that justify constant development. If you want to create a top-notch product that is leader on the market, that really can serve professional radio stations, you know that you need the budget that allows constant development. So the decision that came in 2020 was to create a separate market, which is Pro.Radio, where we sell the theme under other policies, and we wanted these policies to fit both with hobby radios, small radios like community, schools, and so on, and professional radio station networks, so business radios. To do so, the decision was to make a lifetime license, which means you can use Pro.Radio WordPress theme for as long as you want, as long as you have your own copy of the software, as long as you keep your backups and it works fine. You can keep it forever, no extra fees, so what you pay is yours forever for your website. And you have 1 year of support and updates. So if your radio grows, you keep up with it, you have some sponsors, you want to grow big, you can, for a small extra fee, the next year extend your support and updates access, and you can keep on downloading new functions, new themes, new design templates. This thing was not possible on Theme Forest, and this is why Pro.Radio WordPress theme is sold on another platform. So this allowed us to create an astonishing amount of new features, which you can find in our changelog page. So you can see these are all the new features that have been published across the last 3.5 years of Pro.Radio WordPress theme. Let's now go a little bit more into the details of which are the requirements of real radio stations which contacted us to create their websites and gave us the inspiration to improve our product, featuring all of the functionalities that you can find in Pro.Radio right now. So when you buy Pro.Radio WordPress theme, What you are buying is a software that counts on years of development guided from real stakeholders, real radio station owners. So this should already be a reason why you are not looking elsewhere to create your new radio station website. It's the equivalent of hiring hundreds of experts to tell you what you need for your radio station website. You are now going to understand why this software is really what you need. I'm going to start from the very homepage of our website because this is going to give you a clear overview of which point the development of Pro.Radio achieved. First of all, the objective of Pro.Radio is that you don't need to look anywhere else for extra plugins. What happens is that you create a website with whatever theme, then you need to add this feature, this other feature like shows schedule, music charts, song archive, music player, and you need to put all of these pieces together, and they will not work together. They cannot seamlessly integrate because all of the plugins are developed by different companies with different programming standards. Some may be super outdated. They may crash together, create fatal errors, and it will send you crazy. This is the same original problem that we had when we wanted to create radio station website starting from a good WordPress theme for music and adding functionalities from third-party developers to our music websites. So you will want to have a music player, you will want to have radio shows schedule, you will want to have music charts, possibly with some interactions where people can vote for the tracks, auto reordering, music player for listening to the tracks. Then you will want to have like podcasts, because it's extremely important for a radio station to publish an archive of the past episodes, which will keep your listeners engaged and come back for more or listen for the radio shows that they lost from the past week. Then you will want to have an archive of presenters, because presenters are your number one sponsoring content. Your presenters will put the radio show on their social networks, they will attract new listeners, they will tell their friends, so it's important to have an archive of presenters. You will want to have an extremely good design customization panel with tons of options, and you will want to not need a programmer to change your pages, because this is achieved through Elementor, which is a visual page builder where you can easily drag and drop a widget on the page, establish the design aspect of this widget, size, font, colors, and craft the page at your own requirements with the specific contents you need, organized in the order that you want. But for radio stations, it means that you need a lot of custom widgets which don't come with regular Elementor and not even with Elementor Pro. So what we did is we crafted our own integration for Elementor, where all of the contents, podcast, radio shows, radio channel, presenters, schedule, song charts, custom players, visual effects are all integrated. You can really paint the page, craft the page without a single line of code. And this, of course, required hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of development. Choose the template you like, very similarly to what you can do with Wix or Squarespace, and you have all of the features for your radio station ready to be modified, replacing the original demo contents with your own contents, and you're good to go. So we want to have hundreds of demo pages which will kickstart your work. As well, we want the product compatible with WooCommerce to sell your own merchandise, bbPress if you want to create, for instance, a forum for your users, and donations within a pricing plan that allows a simple hobby radio to have its own license forever, and at the same time, commercial radios with a higher budget have no problems to keep their support and update service active, which allows to access any new feature and template that we add along the time. It means that for just about $80, you can take advantage of 10 years of development and research, of feedbacks from other radio station owners that told us what to do, of developers who put their hands into coding about 140,000 line of code that are now composing the Pro.Radio WordPress team. You take all of this value, choose one of the about 200 home pages included in the WordPress team license, and all of this is yours. Is the equivalent of paying a web design studio months, thousands of dollars to create the specific website you need, but at the same time, you are not asking to a random web design studio to understand what you need for your radio station. You don't need to make the study yourself. It's already here. It doesn't make sense to look elsewhere, because the other important reason is that you're sure that all of the features are working together. You don't need to get mad by trying to find plugins to work together because you start with another theme on the market that is not for radios or is for radio but is lacking features, and you need to add these features to your website. Then you have 500 errors, then pages don't update, music stops when it changes page. Instead, everything works out of the box, and you just need to replace pictures, titles, and text. Put your own logo, put your own streaming URL, and your radio station website is there, with the same result of having a team of people working for you months, telling you what to do, with delays, problems, and so on. So when you come here and you need to make your new radio station website, and you see all of these options, and you have the free templates as well with the free Photoshop templates that you can use to create your pictures in the exact same style of a specific demo that you like. Because let's say you like, for instance, this demo, okay? We give you the Photoshop template that you can use as well with the free photopea.com image editor. And what you do is grab your own pictures, drag them into the Photoshop project, and you get the exact same result as our demo. So you can create the same effect, the same design, the same colors without knowing a single line of code and without knowing nothing of Photoshop. Export your images, put them on your website, change the titles, and it's out there. At the same time, you will find something that you will not find anywhere else. And this is the most advanced music player for your website. And I'm not saying for radio stations, I'm saying for your website, because it doesn't only play radio channels, it also plays podcasts, single songs, top 10 charts, and any MP3 you drop in your page. So the music from the stream stops, and you can listen to a specific song of a chart. And I'm going to show you what I mean, because this is extremely important. So you play the music from the radio, and then, for instance, you want to listen to a song from the music chart. And what happens if you build your website with third-party plugins is that the audio will clash. Instead, on Pro.Radio, you can play something else. The main audio stream from the radio stops, and you can listen to a song from the music chart. Same is from podcast, same is from spare tracks for your users. And this is a key concept that you need to consider when it comes to let your visitors stay on your page for as long as you can, because this is what builds value for your radio station. So what you are going to see on Pro.Radio is that you can change page and the music stays playing. You can build playlists in the player. Music is playing, you cannot hear it, but you can see it's playing. And when you change page, because for instance, you see a radio show and you say, oh, I want to know when this radio show is going to be on air, you can click and the music is still playing. So you are creating an extremely enjoyable experience for your visitors. They can find the information they want without stopping the music. So what they can do is to leave the website open in background when they are at work, when they are at the office or on their mobile phone. Keep on listening to the music while browsing your website. Read interviews, check out music charts, check upcoming events, and still keep on listening to the music of your radio channel. Because what happens if you don't have this type of feature is that people are coming to your website perhaps because they found a post on Facebook about an interview of an artist they like. They say, oh, that's a radio station, let's listen to this channel. They play the music and then they see an event that they may be interested in, click on the event and the music stops. What happens? You lost a listener. This listener is not a listener anymore, so you trashed all of the effort that you made into creating an article, posting the article on your Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and grabbing the attention of the visitor, having him reading the website, playing your music, and when your objective is completed, they click on a link and the music stops. So you just trashed your work. This doesn't happen with Pro.Radio. You build a constantly increasing audience that will have a pleasant experience, that will enjoy staying on your radio station website, because they can not only listen, but they can have a full experience where they are involved in the music. An interactive experience that will entertain your users, increasing exponentially the amount of time they spend on your website. This means that you can really build something. This is why if you are considering to create a new radio station, or if you are considering to rebuild the website of an existing radio station, I can guarantee 100% that Pro.Radio is the number one choice where you want to go. But if you're used to systems like Wix or Squarespace or similar, we have something for you. You don't need to take care of buying or finding hosting. You don't need to understand how the installation works. You don't need to know coding. Just go on Pro.Radio/1. And this is a truly all-in-one solution, streaming excluded, so we are talking about the website for your radio station website. When you go to Pro.Radio/1, the all-in-one radio website is a totally integrated solution, so you can choose across dozens of templates, choose the one you like, choose your domain, and in 60 seconds, you have an exact clone of the demo you like in your website. You're good to go. If you already have a website and you need, for instance, to use a staging domain without purchasing an extra staging domain, we got you covered as well. What you need to do is to use one of our free subdomains. So you choose, for instance, My Nice Radio, and we are going to give you for free a temporary subdomain where you can build your website. And you can choose as well between monthly, quarterly, and annually subscription. 0 problems, no installation, 60 seconds, and your website is there. Put your logo, put your stream, and that's it. Take all of the time you need to create and customize your homepage. And when you're done, contact our support, request a domain change. Your website is live. Forget about problems, and you are also 100% sure that you are not going to have problems with hosting providers out there, because hosting is another critical aspect of having a radio station website. A radio station website is more similar to a live application than to a normal website, because it requires regular updates. You cannot cache a homepage for a week or a year, because you want the current radio show to appear. You want the current song title to appear. While if you're a bit more tech savvy, if you like to have your own hosting space, or perhaps you already have it, or you have your own server, VPS, VDS, and you want to have the installation on your website, that's the perfect case where you can go for self-hosted WordPress theme. Pro.Radio is the best solution you can have, both for a hobby radio or for a professional radio station website or network of websites. We have hundreds of national, commercial, institutional radio stations running Pro.Radio WordPress theme. So I hope this video is going to help you with your journey of your new radio station website. Thank you for watching, and see you at the next video.